What's up, everybody? I'm former quarterback Malik, and if football, sports interviews, and having a good time interests you, then make sure to click the like and subscribe button, as it really does help support this channel, and it also makes sure that you guys never miss a new video. Malik, and if football, sports interviews, and having a good time interests you, then make sure to click the like and subscribe button, as it really does help support this channel, and it also makes sure that you guys never miss a new video. How's everyone doing? And welcome back to another episode of Malik Show. Super excited to be here. And again, if you guys don't mind, please like and subscribe. It'll really, really help me, especially as I'm really trying to grow this brand. I'm trying to grow this YouTube page. So again, if you guys do not already subscribe, please go ahead and click the subscribe button below. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So first, I want to talk about fall camp. It's right here. I'm hearing a ton of buzz about young guys. Freshmen that are going with the ones, a lot of freshmen that are making plays with the second group. So super excited that we're seeing a lot of our young guys come out and be explosive. So we're gonna go and get right into my top 3 tips for young guys and even older guys that are trying to compete for a starting job in camp. So number one is going to be consistency. The guy that can go out there and do his job to the best of his ability over and over and over again is going to be the guy that is going to wind up starting, getting the most playing time. And again, sometimes based on offense or defense, there's like whether it's your leverage as a defensive back, or whether it's your route as an offensive receiver. Sometimes they're just in a better position. Sometimes the offense called a great play, sometimes the defense just had your number. And so to me, it's about the guy that can shake that play off and come back and win the next rep, and then the next rep. And maybe he does get beat again, but then it's win the next rep and the next rep and the next rep and the next rep. And it's like, you win as many reps as you can. And again, sometimes you have to win it because you're in the favorable position. But other times, like if I have a go and it's cover two, the odds of me getting a go is slim to none. But if I run hard, I do my job, that's it. But if it's cover one man, now I have a go. Now I'm active, I'm live, and now it's my job to win my rep. So that's a lot of stuff that happens. And there's a lot of stuff. Me as a quarterback, I only thought about my pass reps. Hey, did I throw an accurate slant? Did I throw a good go route? Did I do my right reads? But honestly, for a quarterback, there's so much more than that. Did I see the blitz? Did I see the protection? Did I get into my hots? Maybe it's run game. Hey, did I set my feet right? Did I make sure to deck the right guy? Did I make sure that do I need to make any other calls? Like we used to make a call called B, was where if the linebacker would walk up on the line of scrimmage and it was an RPO, I would tell the backside tackle, hey, BBB, that's his run responsibility. So now he's going to collect the end, and I'm going to read that linebacker that walked up on the backside edge. So, that's what it is mean to be consistent, doing everything right, whether it's a run, whether it's a pass, especially for me as being a quarterback. And that was one thing that I really had to learn, was that, yes, the pass reps are important, but just as much, the run reps, different things like that are just as important, especially with you trying to lead and run an offense. So my next one is mental toughness, and this is preached a lot, but, especially in Miami, it's hot. You're going to be hitting guys for 2 hours. It's going to be a lot of long days, a lot of meetings. They go from morning practice to meetings to probably some type of like walkthrough or something like that, or maybe they do lunch, and then they're going to go back into more meetings, more install, more getting prepped. They're probably going to have like special teams meeting going left and right. So it's going to be a lot. And the guys that can lock in and focus, one thing I used to always try to do was find the guys that used to like to sleep, kind of sit beside when they fall asleep. I'd nudge them, just with my elbow, wouldn't say nothing, but just trying to keep them up. And at the end of the day, sometimes they would get annoyed, but they I wouldn't say they got annoyed, but obviously they wanted to sleep. The fact that I was there trying to keep them up, trying to help them, in the long run, it wound up helping them because they didn't, have to ask coach, hey coach, what do I do on this player? Hey coach, I missed it in the meeting, what's my rep? And that was stuff that, slowly trickled down and affected everyone. And again, sometimes there was guys that would almost have to nudge me because I'd be like this. Because it's hard because, as much, especially for me as a quarterback, as much film as I could watch with the coaches, I need to watch more on my own. So a lot of times I would go home and watch, it's like 30 to 45 minutes of my film after practice. And so that was a lot of reasons why, I was tired. Sometimes in meetings, it would catch up to me. So like some tips I give people is stand up. So if you're in a meeting, especially if you're a sleeper, one, sit in the front where the coach can see you eye to eye, or two, if more want to sit in the back or the middle, sit somewhere where you can stand up and not bother anyone. That would be the biggest thing, because it's very, very hard to fall asleep if you're standing up. So my last tip is going to be health. stay healthy, get your rest, eat right, hydrate, take electrolytes, stretch, do everything you got to do, because the worst thing you can do is have a really good camp and then come out of camp not healthy, come out of camp banged up, come out of camp with an injury. So that is one of my biggest things to a lot of these guys is, prehab, take care of yourself before you get injured. Don't wait until after you get hurt and then have to rehab. And so that's just a lot of ways that, I would definitely focus on if that was my thing, staying consistent, being mentally tough, and then making sure that I'm healthy throughout the entire camp. So next, we're going to go into how I believe Miami's going to run their offense. And I don't think I'm 100% right. I think I'm about 60, 65. But with the way things are going, I'm seeing a ton of love for the receivers. I'm seeing a ton of, TVD had a good practice. Emory Williams had a good practice. Ja'Cory Brown is making a ton of good throws. So I think we will become a pass team. And I don't want to say pass heavy, because I do think there will be games where this become a little lopsided, where it become like 50-50 or maybe even like 55-45 on the run, just depending on who we're playing. But I think for most games, it's going to be a 60-40 pass to run. It's going to be a 60-40 pass to run. And the main reason why I really think that's because some of the ways that, Coach Dawson does his pass concepts basically are a run. When you talk about bubbles and screens and quick games and trying to get the ball out of TVD's hands fast, if you can effectively get a ball in the receiver's hands out in open field, he makes, a 4, 5, 6 yard gain. That's just as effective doing an inside run. So I think there'll be ways to quick game, that basically are like short hitters, hey, like we need to get 4 or 5 yards to score ahead on 1st and 10, throw a hitch, throw a speed out, throw a bubble. Let's get in the 1st and 5. So now we have options. So that's where I think, the way that Goodry is going to, mastermind his quick game is really, really going to help us. So I don't want you guys to think, 60% of the passes are going to be like goes and verts and, crossing routes and deep overs and things like that. Like I'm thinking more like 40% of the pass plays, 50% of the pass plays are going to be quick game. The other 50, is going to be deeper shots, trick plays, things like that. Because we have a lot of skilled players. These guys can catch. These guys can make moves. The biggest thing you got to do is get them the ball in their hands as fast as possible, so they have the ability to make the move. So secondly, establishing the run, I think something that we're definitely going to do, and I'm hoping that we really do it on third down, especially third and short, and in the red zone. There definitely are teams. I would say Georgia's one that they will definitely throw the ball, 25, 30, 35 times a game, but they're still going to establish the run. They're still going to run the ball. They're still going to run through. They're still going to run hard. And so just because you pass a little more than run doesn't mean that you can't establish run. Now, you might not be run dominant. You might not be like a Georgia Tech or, those old school running teams where they're going to run it, 25, 30 times a game. But the difference is that, you can still have, 20, 25 touches, 200 yards because you're effectively running the ball, doing stuff like pin pull, doing stuff like, doing some RPOs and some play action to really get these linebackers confused. And then, having a really good run game, especially with the offensive line that we got, I think we'll have a lot of good push. And so, again, this could flip. If the offensive line is taken over in the run game, I could see it become more like, again, 55-45, where we are more run than pass. But I think with the receivers that we have, the offense that Dawson wants to run, the way that we're trying to make sure that we don't lose South Florida receivers, I think that, we will start passing a little more than running. But I definitely think that the run game has to be established each and every game. The last point that I have is I think we're going to do, again, a lot of quick game, a lot of RPOs. I think that he's going to try to get the ball out of Tyler's hands. I think that over time, as the offensive line settles in, as the receivers, maybe get 1 or 2 catches, like maybe it's a hitch, maybe it's a speed out, maybe it's a bubble, just get the ball in their hands. Then you push it vertical. Once you build their confidence through quick games and, hey, I've caught the ball, I've got hit, I made a guy miss, I ran over a guy. Now, let's slowly build off that. I think that's some stuff that Dawson does really good. And I think that's where, like the ability and the speed of these guys is really going to cause issues, especially if we can be smart and quick game and RPOs. And when I mean by smart is a lot of times it comes down to very split-second decisions, whether it's like, the receiver has to stem inside or outside. The quarterback usually is going to go a one step or left, right, and balls out. So it is a lot of quick decisions. The good thing is that the same way that us as an offense have to make a decision fast, the defense does as well. So it's fast on both teams. The biggest thing is it's all about where your quarterback decides, and obviously the route tree that your receivers run. And a lot of it has to do with, leverage, different things like that. So I think with KB, we're going to be definitely fine with the way that receivers run their route, because he is very, very good at, letting these kids understand, hey, when he's inside leverage, this is what you're thinking. And the reason why you're thinking that is so that you and the quarterback are on the same page. A lot of that stuff, when I was around KB, he was very, very good at was, helping these receivers understand why they have to run it and understand, hey, the same reason that I'm telling you why is the same thing that the quarterback's thinking. So as long as we're on the same page, everything will be fine. Okay, so I'm super excited for this offense. I think the combination of Dawson Smarts and KB's technician is really going to help this offense, especially in the pass game, blow up. We would take a quick break to thank our sponsors, DGen Sports. DGen Sports is an exciting NFT project that combines real-world sports and NFT culture. Behind an experienced leadership team, the project just launched their third season and offers free-to-play sports prediction prizes every month. They gave away a $250 NFT for the Masters alone. Follow them on Twitter at DGenSportsIO. So now we're going to get into some NFL, and I have three breakout players for the Miami Dolphins. As you can see, number one is Devon Achane, tallest guy in person, freak, super fast, speed kills, especially talking about having Waddle and having Tyreek Hill. I think it's going to be a huge year for him. I think that he's going to be someone that, really comes out sneaky in the first, I would say, 3 or 4 games. And over the season, he's really going to start to pick up steam. Next, I have Cam Smith, second-round draft pick. Really, it was their first, but he's a second-round draft pick, South Carolina defensive back. Obviously, we know Jalen Ramsey went down. He'll be out for a couple weeks. So, with this guy being their top draft pick from last year, I can definitely see him some way implementing into the game and maybe, breaking out. And a lot of these guys, again, are rookies or young guys. I'm not thinking like, Jalen Phillips, guys like that have been there for a while, that are obviously established. These are more new guys that are coming in this year that I think could have a really big season for the Dolphins. So I think Cam Smith on the defensive side, especially, with the injury that they had, he can potentially implement in and make some plays for them. And the last one, my dog, Braxton Berrios, man, this guy is a phenom, smart. He is a quarterback, to me, quarterback's favorite target. He's going to be in the right spot. He's going to run the right depth. He's even on adjustments time. Like maybe you guys all week worked, cover one with him running around. He understands, hey, if it's cover two, this is probably where I should be. So to me, he definitely thinks like a quarterback. He helps the guys around him. He's a great guy to be around. And I really do expect not only on special teams, but just as a receiver in general. I don't know how many yards he's going to have. I don't know how many catches, but I promise you the plays that he does make will be super impactful for the Miami Dolphins. So next, we're going to go into the Bucks, especially the quarterback situation. There's a lot of stuff talking about Baker, Kyle Trask, but I do have Baker being the starter. I think he'll start, between experience, between the way he leads, different things like that. I definitely expect Baker to come out and at least the first 3 or 4 games be the starter for the Tampa Bay Bucks. But I do expect Kyle Trask to play some, especially during the preseason. But, I think if Baker struggles and the Bucs struggles, the best thing, or not the best, but what most teams do is they shift quarterbacks. They're going to change, hey, Baker, let's just try Kyle, see if he gives us some juice, and then Kyle's going to play. Now, I don't know if Kyle will stay the starter. I think this potentially late in the year could bounce back and forth, and Baker becomes a starter again. This will be a very interesting situation to see what happens with these two guys. But both these guys are good. I like Baker. I like Kyle. I saw Kyle a lot at Florida. Obviously, he had the freak of nature, tight end, Pitts. But, his ability to still put the ball on the money is something that I think will help him compete versus Baker Mayfield. And last, they got to trade up for a quarterback. I don't know where, they're going to fall in line this year, but they have to get like a Drake May. I don't think they're going to be able to get Caleb Williams. I don't think it'll be that bad to get Caleb Williams. But, if they can trade up, get Drake May, get them a good, season, I won't say seasoned quarterback, but someone that has a lot of potential, that's played a lot of games in college, that can transition really fast. To me, I think Drake May is someone that, between being around Sam Howell, the NFL quarterbacks he's been around, his ability to show you what he can do on the field and his leadership skills could definitely implement over to the Bucs. Again, I don't think that he'll come in and win, but I definitely think he can come in and help them next year if the situation between Baker and Kyle are still bad. So now what I want to do is I want to do some film breakdown, okay? So for right now, what I really want to go over, and I'm about to switch my screen over, so I'm going to be small, but what I really want to go over is 2 quarterbacks. One's going to be from the NFL, one to be from college. The first one right here is Riley Leonard, and I'm going to kind of mute this, and we're just going to go over, kind of his footwork, why I really like this guy, some stuff that he does really well. And again, one thing that you guys got to know is this guy is a lot more athletic than what people give him. He actually can dunk in basketball, but the biggest thing I want to go back with this is, one, look at his footwork. Okay, so it's a lot of stuff that we teach in QB country. He is a country quarterback, but we teach left, right. Okay, some people teach, right foot plant. I'm not the biggest fan on right foot plant. The biggest reason why is because if you're playing a good team, like Duke was one of them, and they were very smart, so they had the ability to run quarters, 2, 3 buzz, 3 weak. They would run, 2 Tampa. They would run 2 man. They would run 0. They would run one rat, they would one lurk, they would do all these crazy things just because they had the ability to. So when you're doing a quick game and you go one step, basically you're locked in on what side you're going to based on where your foot aligns. When you go left, right here, it just allows you in quick game to kind of read these safeties. For the most part, he should be reading this guy. Okay, so this is a pure quarters look. This is a 4-2-4 quarters. You can tell these guys are all safeties are right here. So again, these guys are run support. So I'll kind of explain quarters just really, really quick. Okay. So once this guy receiver right here passes 10 yards, this becomes man. These two guys are basically inside outing him. So for me, I'd want him a little bit more out so they can inside out. But for right now, if he was to run a hitch or a slant, this guy has him. If he was to run like a post or maybe a corner, the safety will take him. Now, if there's any run action, these two safeties now get into the runs. This is where sometimes people will run double post this way, and you'll see that there's no safety here. It starts off, oh, it's too high. Things guys can get off the hash and get deep. Well, no, if they play action, there's a post in his face. He's thinking, I have this guy man, and there's a post over the top. But we're going a little too deep, but that is quarters for the most part. It past 10 yards. These defensive backs right here take them in man. Underneath guys kind of play like an underneath zone, okay? So right here, he goes left, right. The biggest thing I like is weight back. See how that weight's on that back foot? He's loaded kind of. But the big thing is look at his feet. If I drew a straight line from here to here, which is slightly in front, right? I'm going to go slightly in front. It's where that ball should almost end up at. Somewhere around the hash, which is where I have my line. So that's the reason why I really like Riley, man. His feet are phenomenal. You know, a lot of good quarterbacks, if you just watch their feet, you can tell where the ball should go. Right here again, he's getting out. So the big thing with rolling out, and I'm not going to go into all our depths, but, you know, the biggest thing for accuracy for me, stuff that we teach is going to be his front shoulder right here. So if I get because my legs are wild, they're going everywhere, so I can't use my feet, you know, to kind of tell where accuracy is going to be. So I look at the shoulder. So let's watch his shoulder. He's trying to get it around. He's running. I love it. Get the first. Guy's a little more athletic than what most people give him. Like the drop back. I like how the weight's slightly back. So this is one thing we talk about L right here. You can kind of see his arm is in an L. That's a great position. He should lead the elbow. Good. Obviously, ball a little more outside, but I mean, at the end of the day, the guy's wide open. Just give him the ball. I'm not too nitpicky on that, but I do really like his feet. Okay, so this to me would be an interesting one. Then this is kind of what I mean. So we'll go back just a little bit. So this is kind of what I mean by teams you got to watch them because right here you don't really know. Like to me, this could technically be quarters. The only thing that really gives it away is this guy's like deep and they're all locked in on him. I would say if this guy was looking inside slightly, you potentially could think quarters. This is where I mean by like you got to watch these guys. So if you're going quick game, let's say you got the same thing, double slant to this side, something here. You know, this guy technically, if he doesn't blitz, this is called one lurk, where he's just like the rat. He's kind of playing in here. This is where sometimes you got to watch guys to understand where they're going in quick game. But obviously, this isn't quick game. This is a run. You know, I probably give it, but I don't necessarily mind the pull. Probably would have gave it, but you know, guys trying to make plays. Watch this one. So he hitches. I like it. Get up the field, run, especially in the red zone. Biggest thing I do like about him is that, again, a little bit more athletic. You see him just hurdle a guy. Is that to me, he doesn't make a lot of bad decisions. There are some times where he will throw interceptions, but for the most part, you know, he's going to protect the ball. He's not going to let him beat himself. And to me, that's really hard to beat in college football is when you have a good quarterback that can make plays like this, that's athletic, that also has the ability to not beat himself, not put the ball in jeopardy. To me, I think that's just really big by him. Get more athletic, outrunning people, get 4 or 5 yards. And again, I know those plays aren't a lot, but those plays are very, very demoralizing to a lot of defenses. All right, we're gonna go over this one because I really like this one. You almost hit it. Okay, so two things on really the deep ball and a lot of things I teach my young guys is the shoulder level. Okay, so again, his feet, where are they? Down the hash. Okay, so that ball is going to end up somewhere down the hash as he rotates. And what I like is that he lifts his shoulder. See how that shoulder slightly up now. So now I can launch from an extended. I gotta go back, see if I can get it. But I'm going to try to see if I can get his extension point. See how he extended out front. I can't really pause it, but if you guys go back, you can. And that ball ended up not on the hash, but slightly. But that kind of lets you know where he should be throwing based on his. All right, so let's watch his feet here. He rides. I do like that he gets back, gives himself some distance from his offensive line. Again, Elbow forward, extension up front. I love the ball, man. This guy is he's just fundamentals, man. He beats you by fundamentals. Again, we're gonna watch this quick little two-step. Watch it. Left foot back. And so what I tell a lot of my guys, man, especially if you're throwing quick game, you got to go left foot back first. You can't just go right foot because you see right here he's clearing the back. And this is actually an RPO. I'm guessing that he's reading that there's no one in the flats, and so he's just going to grip, rip. Guys got to make plays. Let's look at this. Okay, this one, and I'm thinking they're playing like a four press to this side. One of these guys could come. It could be a cover one. This guy could shoot. This guy could be playing. This guy kind of is making me think, man, maybe this guy's a little scary. He knows safety to the field this way. But for me, at least pre-snap, I'm thinking maybe this guy could come. We're gonna see. Yep, there he is, blitzing. So a lot of times, especially in college, you can tell really easy when guys are coming. Different things like that. Perfect. Good job. Okay, again, I'm thinking pure quarters. I'm not thinking pressure this time. And I know he's pressed. But the thing that really gives away now, these guys a little back, he's not capping. So if this guy was like out here and he was over top, I would think, or if he was shaded a little more in here, then I would think bliss. I think they're just playing their what we like to call red seven, their quarters look. Yep, just strictly quarters. Oh, and for the Miami fans, this is really how I expect us to play our defense. Our defense is going to be super similar to this type of look. Now, what you are susceptible on, let's say this guy runs a corner right here, boom, look at this, right on the mic. That's what we used to run a lot, especially with guys like David Njoku and Chris Herndon. If you guys go back and watch the way that we used to play North Carolina and Duke in the past, like we definitely used to split them right down the middle, especially 3-by-1, because he's thinking double in here. You got a mic, and when this guy presses vertical and goes out, if he doesn't cover him, you're asking this nickel too. So it just puts him in a lot of bad situations. I will say what teams do that's really good is they'll shade him outside because they know, hey, if he's outside and this guy runs a corner, then technically my safety can help based on leverage. So that's some slight adjustments that teams will do. But the problem is now if you run double post, if this guy runs like a cross and this guy runs across here because he's outside, you can technically stick it. Or if they run, our favorite play, we used to call it yogi, where it's a drag here, so it collects this mic, and this guy runs a little quick slant right in there. Because he's outside, you have the leverage. Now, it will be a bang-bang play. The biggest thing I'll say is for these quarterbacks, just throw the ball low. Runs. Oof. I like the toughness though, man. The guy's tough. Guy's respectable. I don't know how well he'll do in the NFL, but I do know this. He's gonna get a lot of respect, and I think he'll actually get a chance. He's big, he's tough, he makes throws. Oh, I I did like the arm though. I can say that. I love the arm negotiation here. Fast feet. I would say I think the running back, you see right there, I think the running back kind of got him off balance and may throw behind. I do love again when we talked about extension out front in front of the face. It's kind of like a baseball pitch, when I extend, I want to extend out front, slightly behind. I mean, it's a bad ball, but did a lot of stuff right. He was trying to just make a play. Probably the last series we watched, tip ball. Oof, thought I was going to end it that fast. Not really going to blame it on him. But again, we're going to watch it. L, elbow lead, extend out front. Man, it's just a good play by defensive lineman. Okay, I'm thinking blitz. I know it kind of shows it early, but these guys look their blitz. These guys are literally locked in man. I don't know what maybe two man. No, one lurk. So this is what we call lurk. Do you see how this safety isn't playing anyone? It's called one lurk. Now, if this guy was a linebacker and he was one of these guys underneath, it'd be called one rat. Okay, just so you guys can understand the difference on at least how a quarterback thinks. Throw it away. Oh, I like it. Again, if we go back and show the replay, watch his front shoulder. He's running. See how he tries to turn. See how he tries to turn that front shoulder now to get it at his target. Oh. So again, a lot of fundamentally correct stuff, which is why this guy is really, really good. Oh, good tackle. Tripped him up. 2nd and 24. Let's see if you can overcome it. Little QB draw. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah, we're in the drive with that one. But yeah, man, this guy's a lot athletic. I'm super excited to see him play. I'm actually glad that Miami's not playing this guy this year, as he definitely gave us a lot of troubles last year. So now we're going to switch over. And this one, shout out to my dog Ryan Cook. But this one's going for Ryan Cook. Okay, so we're going to talk about Jared Goff and go through the whole entire offense for the Detroit Lions. Really want to talk about with Goff. Okay, let's watch his fundamentals. So Right here, pure cover one, you can tell. I mean, they basically got five guys down. They're loading up for the box, man on, man on. I mean, this guy's probably playing a little more inside than I would want. Or this linebacker right here, I think he should be a little more outside. But for the most part, it's just cover one man. Shoot it out. Let's watch his feet on this one. Right. This is what I mean. When you don't go left, right, you just go right. Like his feet is pointing at this guy. And again, you can do it fast. We saw, Riley do it really fast, quick left, right. And you can go right plant, but like you can't have your foot. I mean, your back ankle's pointed here, your front foot's pointed there. Like, and that is a good job. And the big thing that I'll say that he did a good job of, we'll go back, is you watch him close his front shoulder. So actually as much credit I didn't give him. Good job by him. You'll see it here, close. Look, feet shoulder. So I really don't mind that, to be honest with you. I would say that I would want him, probably to close that front foot more. But I love the shoulder turn because now it lets me know, hey, where are you going? Ball, bam. So good job by him. Biggest thing is he has to turn his shoulders, which he did. So same thing, thinking cover one, maybe cover three with this guy being off and outside. They could be a cover three team. Let's see, it looks like cover three. He's gonna backpedal. Oh, well, they had a false start. Same thing, cover three. His shoulders return. So they got an empty set. Let's see. Well, this is the receiver's fault. Yep. So slightly on the receiver. If you the reason why I would say on the receiver is this is your traditional what we call golf, so going out. This guy has to go outside of him. Otherwise, look at his eyes. His eyes are inside. He can see both of these. His eyes are inside and he can see both of these guys. Now, what I would say for Jared is I would want to be high low in this guy. Not really shooting this out, especially with the way this guy runs his route. But at the end of the day, you had the leverage. But yeah, that's what happens whenever you don't go outside and you want to go inside on an out route. Next drive right here. So thinking quarters, look at these guys. They're making a blanket. They're almost all even. I'm thinking just pure quarters. One of these guys are probably going to drop. I don't think they're going to do a five-man rush. Probably him. Probably he's going to drop. Nope. They do a five-man rush. I actually like it. So let's look at the concept now. I mean, here, that's all you have. Look how deep they are. And this is one thing that I tell a lot of my young guys, don't try to force stuff. I don't care if it's third down. You check it down to him. He blocks him. He makes this guy miss. Maybe you get the first. But that's really all he had. I mean, really good defensive call, by the Redskins. This is, a time where like they went deep, they got you. You didn't have a lot of time because they brought five. Um, all you gotta do is play the next down. Don't make a bad play into a catastrophe. Good. Run play. Fast forward that. Okay, here, cover one could be three. These guys slightly off and outside. They could just be backpedaling back that way. But if they're a heavy man team, it could be cover one man. Okay, we got some run game this series. Let's see if we can get some passes in. Okay, motion. This man. Okay, so did you guys see that? The way they double motion. So he bumped in, which really good way. But when he crossed, this guy ran across. So now I know it's 100% cover one man. I know who has who. I know he's on him. He's on him. He's on him. One of these two guys are probably coming. There he is right there. Bam. What I really want to watch is Goff's feet. So again, they shift, they motion. I know exactly that it's man coverage. Now I got to figure out, are they a blitz team? Or are they a one rat team? Bink. Wide open. And I would say his feet drifted just a little bit. I would say probably with his first step, get back. See how his first step went nowhere. 2, 3. He went nowhere. All right, he got a little depth on the 2, 3. But now look, he has to go back, 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 back. Ball though. Good. I like it. You think a man matchup. Watch it from the back. Okay, I don't really know what he's thinking here. Uh, I guess he's seeing this guy. I guess that's who he's watching. This guy turned his back to the running back, which I like it. We just got to make that throw. So I don't mind the decision of just one obviously a better throw, give him a chance. But at least from like who he's reading, he was definitely reading that corner on like that little whatever curl wheel by the back. So he motioned him in to see if it was zone or man. See how the mic stayed in right here. So you definitely know it's a zone coverage. It's like a blanket, like a red 7. It's like a quarters kind of look. Oh, nope. Invert. See how he started to go in. And he might be, then there's another concept too. I'm gonna fast forward to it again. We called it trio. Okay. So when you look at this look right here. There's 3 receivers over to tight end. So a lot of times they would man him. This guy is poaching number 2. So remember that route they did earlier when they hit this guy on that bender. Now this guy's going to poach here. So it's not necessarily like an invert, but this guy is he's going to go across. So if this guy goes vertical, he's going to try to basically rob it. Yep. So see, they're playing their quarters. He has him man. He's gonna take the back end man. Everyone else over here is playing zone. He's literally watching his eyes. So if he was throw a bender, he's sitting right there to pick it. Quarters, they're low, but now you can tell they're not a cover 2. They're literally run support. They're if there's a run play, they're going downhill. So we're just gonna watch these guys if it's a run play. They never backpedaled once. So that's what I mean by their free hitters. They misfit. Well, took that one to the crib. The crib. 0, 100% 0. Like, look at these guys. Maybe they're not blitzing 0, but like there's no free safety. Like that run. Punch in, same thing, same coverage, thinking 0 man, man. And again, 0 doesn't mean that they're blitzing. It's not like the old school cover 0. Like they're gonna watch because there's so many play action, so many pop passes behind running backs, or not behind running backs, so many pop passes behind linebackers nowadays that they can't just engage 8 or just all out blitz. They gotta actually read. Now that this one's more of an all out blitz because I'm guessing it was third down if we go. But I like the feet. See how his feet turned? Look at his feet. His back foot's here, going that way. The ball's going too. So not bad by the feet. I would say get the ball down. Obviously, you got to throw a catchable ball, but at least his feet are in the right spot. And that's really what I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna go too in depth on quarterback technique right now. See if we can close this drive out. I like the shoulder lifted. You could tell he was trying to throw a high ball. So if we go back, watch how he tries to lift his shoulder. You can tell he was trying to throw high somewhere. So it's flat there. Look, see how it goes up, slightly up, goes up. It's up that way. He's trying to go deep, comes back. Biggest thing I would tell him is just not to rush a throw. I felt like here, probably the first time he seemed a little panicked in the pocket, especially when to go close. So right there. Yeah, see, he's a little off balance. You guys will watch him at the top. A little bit off balance, his feet. So he rushed just a little bit with his feet. Not really his arm. His arm mechanics were smooth, but I think his feet caused him to be off balance and not ready to make that throw. So that was really it. That's all we're going to do and talk about, especially when it comes to quarterbacks. I really do like Riley Leonard. I've become a little bit more of a fan of Jared Goff. I think that, he can get better. And I think he will get better. But I definitely like Riley. Let me know what you guys think about this episode. I hope that you guys have learned something from me and the way that I teach quarterbacks. And again, if you guys haven't liked or subscribed, please do that. As every like and subscribe really really helps me go a long way. So thank you guys and have a great rest of your day.